In recent years, some of the brightest minds on the planet, scientists, philosophers, and tech leaders like Elon Musk, have started asking a strange question. What if everything we see, everything we touch, is just part of an incredibly advanced simulation? To them, the streets we walk, the faces we know, even our own reflections, might not be as real as they feel. Sounds crazy, right? But what if they're onto something? No need to dive into sci-fi fantasies or conspiracy theories. The idea that reality is an illusion has been echoed through ancient wisdom, backed by modern neuroscience, and, let's be honest, you've probably felt it yourself. That sneaky sense that something doesn't quite add up. The weird timing of events. The patterns that seem way too perfect to be random. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain and stepping into those cracks you usually ignore. We'll explore how your mind edits what you think you see, how memories betray you more often than you realize, and how your very identity might just be a clever script you never consciously wrote. More importantly, we'll reconnect with the pure awareness that's been silently watching the whole time. If you've ever had that quiet whisper inside, telling you the world isn't what it seems, you're already closer to the truth than you think. Because once you see through the illusion, you can't unsee it. 1. The illusion of a solid world. Most people wake up every day trusting that what they see, hear, and touch is solid and trustworthy. They believe the ground under their feet is firm, that the buildings around them are permanent, and that life follows a straight, reliable path. But what if all of this was part of a carefully crafted illusion of reality? The mind and awareness are easily fooled when it accepts surface appearances without question. Throughout history, groups like Heaven's Gate and even ancient Eastern philosophies have screamed the same warning: what you see is not what's real. Let's be real for a second. How often have you felt that something was just a little off? You ever get that weird feeling that life's scenes are almost too perfect, like a movie that's just a little too scripted? That small crack you sense in your daily experience is the beginning of awakening from the illusion. The real problem isn't that the world is fake, it's that our perception versus truth is so deeply twisted that most never even notice the difference. They just go on autopilot, believing whatever shows up in front of their eyes. Take a look at the old tales from the ancient Hindus who spoke about Maya, the grand illusion. It's not some fairy tale or mystical nonsense. It's a blunt reminder that everything material is fleeting, changeable, and full of tricks. Even today, quantum physics is telling us the same thing but with fancier words. Reality is more slippery than we like to admit. The illusion of reality isn't just an idea you read in a dusty old book. It's your everyday life, dressed up in a costume that your mind forgot to question. Now here's where things start heating up. If everything you see feels so stable, but can actually be pulled apart with a little awareness, then what else are you not seeing? What parts of your life, your job, your relationships, even your dreams, are built on a story that isn't real? Maybe, just maybe, your eyes are showing you only the surface of something way bigger. And once you start pulling on that thread, it's impossible not to see how deep the illusion of reality really goes. 2. How perception shapes your reality. It's wild how easy it is to think we're seeing the world as it truly is. Most people stroll through life assuming that what their eyes catch is the full picture, clean and complete. But the truth is, perception versus truth is a battlefield where the mind and awareness are constantly making up the rules. Your eyes aren't windows to the world. They're more like projectors, painting a version of reality based on old memories, biases, and expectations. The illusion of reality isn't that the world hides itself. It's that your own brain edits it before you even know what's happening. Think about this for a second. 2 people can look at the exact same event and walk away telling completely different stories about what happened. Why? Because they didn't really see the same thing. Their past, fears, hopes, and conditioning all filtered the scene differently. It's like putting on glasses tinted by your life experience. One person sees danger, the other sees opportunity. Awakening from the illusion starts when you realize your perception is more about you than about what's actually out there. Practical example. Try walking into a room full of strangers and notice what your mind focuses on first. Is it the person who reminds you of someone you trust, or someone who triggers an old fear? Your awareness will filter everything through those old emotional lenses. The mind loves patterns, even if those patterns trap you in outdated beliefs. Understanding this gives you a serious advantage. You can begin retraining your perception by consciously choosing what you focus on, just like updating an old pair of scratched-up glasses. Now here's a crazy thought. If your brain is constantly shaping the world to match its old stories, then how much of what you call reality is actually a rerun of your past? The illusion of reality is sneaky like that, until you stop and really look. Not just with your eyes, but with pure awareness. You'll keep living inside a movie you didn't even know you were starring in. But don't worry, because once you spot the glitch, a whole new path opens up ahead. 3. When your memories betray you. Most people walk around believing their memories are sacred, little video clips neatly stored in the mind, ready to be replayed whenever needed. But memory isn't a recording. It's a slippery storyteller that changes the plot every time you press play. Scientists have proven that just a little suggestion or emotional pressure can reshape memories, making people believe in events that never even happened. That's a serious crack in the illusion of reality, and it shows just how tricky the game between perception versus truth can get when mind and awareness aren't fully awake. Ever heard of the lost in the mall experiment? Researchers convinced people they got lost in a mall as a kid, even when it never happened. After a few days, these people weren't just agreeing, they were filling in fake memories with real emotions, like panic and relief. If your own mind can invent an entire emotional episode that feels just as real as your first kiss or your graduation day, how much of what you know can you actually trust? Awakening from the illusion means starting to question even the stories you tell yourself about your own life. If you want a practical exercise, try writing down a detailed memory from your childhood, then ask a sibling or an old friend to describe that same event. Chances are, your versions will be shockingly different. That's not just nostalgia playing tricks on you. It's your mind shaping memories to match the identity it built. Every time you remember something, you're not retrieving a file, you're rewriting it, often with small distortions that make you feel more comfortable or powerful. That's the quiet magic and the quiet trap of how memory bends reality. Now think about it. If your mind can plant false memories without your permission, what else is it planting? How many fears, doubts, or dreams are based on things that never even truly happened the way you believe? The illusion of reality isn't just about what's happening outside. It's deeply woven into your very sense of self. And when you start to notice this, you can't help but wonder what else has been hiding right in plain sight, just waiting for you to finally open your eyes a little wider. 4. The mind's invisible blindfold. Most people like to think they see everything important happening around them. It's a comforting thought, but honestly, it's a massive illusion of reality. Studies show that the human mind and awareness work less like a camera and more like a really lazy editor, cutting out chunks of reality it deems irrelevant. Perception versus truth gets messy fast when your brain decides what you notice and what you literally don't see at all. You're not missing tiny details either. You're missing giant, obvious things walking right in front of your face. Take the classic inattentional blindness experiment. People were asked to count basketball passes in a video, so focused they didn't even see a full-grown person in a gorilla suit stroll through the middle of the game. Half of the participants were totally blind to it. Think about that. If your mind can erase something that blatant, how much of your daily life are you actually missing? Awakening from the illusion isn't just about seeing deeper truths. It's about realizing how often your mind quietly blinds you without asking permission. You can test this yourself today. Go sit in a busy cafe and pay attention to just the background sounds for 5 minutes. At first, you'll probably hear nothing but noise. But soon, you'll pick out conversations, footsteps, dishes clinking, layers of reality you never noticed before. The same applies to what you see. Awareness is like a muscle. The more you train it, the more you catch the things your brain usually filters out. Building this skill slowly tears down the invisible walls separating perception versus truth. And here's the kicker. If your mind is hiding entire layers of life from you without your consent, what about the even bigger stuff? What about signs, opportunities, warnings, even miracles that could be walking right through your experience every day, completely unseen? Once you realize how deep the blindfold goes, you'll feel that irresistible pull to peel it off and finally start seeing reality for what it really is, not just what your mind has been letting you see. 5. Reality is not observed, it's created. Most folks grow up believing reality is like a big stage play already set up, and they're just actors walking through it. But the deeper truth is a lot more mind-blowing. Reality isn't sitting out there waiting for you to observe it. You're creating it moment by moment. Science, especially quantum physics, has been shouting this from the rooftops for decades now. The famous double-slit experiment showed that the mere act of observation changes the behavior of particles. Mind and awareness aren't passive. They're sculpting the illusion of reality in real time. Here's where it gets even juicier. Your brain isn't just taking in sights and sounds like a sponge. It's predicting what it expects to see based on old memories and assumptions, then filling in the gaps. That's perception versus truth at war inside your head every second of the day. Two people walking into the same room will literally experience two different realities because their brains are building what they expect, not what's objectively there. Awakening from the illusion starts when you understand you're not just watching life happen, you're co-writing the script. A simple way to feel this in your own life is to notice how your mood shapes your environment. Ever had one of those days where everything feels heavy, slow, even ugly, and another day where the exact same places and faces seem brighter, more alive? That's not the world changing. It's your mind projecting a new lens. Try keeping a journal for a week, tracking your mood and how the world looks to you each day. You'll be shocked to see how perception versus truth swings wildly depending on what's going on inside you. And if your brain is busy creating reality before you even consciously experience it, the next obvious question should hit you like a freight train. Who's in charge of this creation? Is it you, the real you, or the old programming that's been running the show for years? Once you start peeling back this layer, reality begins to feel less like a prison and more like a canvas you didn't know you were holding a brush to all along. 6. Your identity is a visual story. Most people are convinced they know who they are. They point to a name, a face in the mirror, a few memories, and call it a solid identity. But if you really take a closer look, you'll see it's just another illusion of reality. Your name was given to you. Your habits were modeled after the people around you. Even your fears and dreams were passed down like family heirlooms. The gap between perception versus truth is huge when it comes to identity, and mind and awareness are often too sleepy to notice. Here's a simple thought experiment. If you had been born on the other side of the world with a different language, culture, and name, would you still be you? Probably not in the way you think. Everything you call me is a collection of borrowed pieces glued together over time. Awakening from the illusion means realizing you're not the story. You're the awareness watching the story unfold. Most people spend their whole lives defending a character they didn't even consciously choose to create. You can start spotting this in everyday life if you pay attention. Notice how fiercely people defend their tastes, like favorite foods or music. But did they really choose those preferences, or did they absorb them from their surroundings? You can apply the same question to career paths, political opinions, even the way someone dresses. It's humbling and freeing to realize how much of yourself is just an unconscious download. And once you see it, you can start choosing what really resonates with your true nature. Now here's the real wake-up call. If your entire sense of self has been stitched together by forces you didn't control, then what happens when you let go of the story? What's left when you stop clinging to names, titles, and appearances? That's where the real journey begins. Not the journey of building a better mask, but the journey of seeing who's been hiding underneath it all along. 7. Who is really seeing through your eyes? Most people never stop to wonder who's actually behind the wheel of their lives. They just assume it's them, simple as that. But when you really start poking around, you find out it's not so simple. The mind and awareness are not the same thing, and the illusion of reality gets even sneakier at this level. Your mind is like a noisy commentator, narrating life non-stop, while your true self, the silent observer, sits quietly in the background, often ignored. Perception versus truth splits wide open once you realize you're not the thoughts you think. Imagine standing in front of a huge window, looking out over a busy street. The cars, people, and noise pass by without you having to do anything. That's exactly how thoughts, emotions, and even visual experiences pass through your awareness. They aren't you. They're just things happening inside the mind's field. Awakening from the illusion begins when you notice the gap between the one who watches and the circus that unfolds. Most people live trapped inside the circus, mistaking the noise for who they are. Want to experience this firsthand? Next time you're feeling overwhelmed, just stop for a second and observe the thoughts racing through your head without trying to fix or judge them. Watch them like clouds passing through the sky. When you do this, you'll feel a weird, powerful shift. The realization that the real you isn't tangled up in any of it. That space between the thought and the awareness of it, that's where your freedom lives. It's the hidden doorway out of the illusion of reality and into something much bigger. And if you're not the thinker of the thoughts, then who are you really? Who's been quietly seeing through your eyes all these years, witnessing the parade of experiences without getting lost in them? That's the question that starts cracking the foundation most people build their entire lives on. And once you open that door even a little, you'll start feeling the pull to keep going, to look even deeper into the mystery that's been quietly waiting inside you all along. 8. Waking up from the visual illusion. Most people think waking up means achieving something big or learning some complicated secret. But real awakening from the illusion isn't about adding anything new. It's about stripping away what was never yours to begin with. The illusion of reality is so convincing because it taps into the mind and awareness when they're on autopilot. You see a world, believe it's solid, and forget to question it. Perception versus truth is the game you're trapped in until you realize the game was rigged from the very beginning. You don't need fancy rituals or mystical retreats to start waking up. You just need to start questioning the things you usually take for granted. Ask yourself, is what I'm seeing really real or just a projection of my conditioned mind? Try it with simple things, a conversation, a news headline, even the face you see in the mirror. Challenge the obvious. What you'll find is shocking. So much of what you believed was concrete is just smoke and mirrors held together by habits of thought you never consciously chose. Here's a practice that works like a charm. Spend 5 minutes a day sitting quietly and just watch everything your mind tries to label. Don't engage, don't resist, just watch. Colors, shapes, thoughts, feelings, they all parade by like a slideshow. This simple act of observation without attachment starts sharpening your awareness like nothing else. It's how you begin loosening the grip of perception versus truth and reconnecting with the part of you that was never fooled in the first place. And if just sitting quietly can start showing you the cracks in the illusion, imagine what's waiting for you once you live from that deeper space every day. Reality doesn't change all at once. It unravels slowly, like mist burning off under the morning sun. And as the fog clears, you'll realize you weren't born to live stuck inside someone else's story. You were born to see, to know, and to experience life as it really is, raw, open, and breathtakingly free.